Hey guys, it's Steph from the Nerd Garden, and welcome to another Nerd Garden video. It's day 2 of National Novel Writing Month. If you aren't familiar with what that is, November is the month where a bunch of crazy writers sit down and write a 50,000 word novel in a month. Total insanity, I know, but super fun and super crazy. And so I started thinking, I know a lot of folks that are participating in Nano this year, and people who often ask me, well, how did you get through it? What did you do? And how did it work for you? So I thought maybe what I do is kind of throw out the top things that I had in place to help me get through Nano, and hopefully they'll help you a little bit. The first and most important thing for me was my software choice. So a lot of folks participate in Nano in Microsoft Word, and if that works for you, awesome. You know I'm not a huge fan of Microsoft Word for fiction writing. What do you mean my file's corrupt? No, don't you shut down. If you are, that's fantastic. But apps that I have used in the past for Nano are Scrivener, and now I use Ulysses exclusively. And what I really like about them is you can essentially set a word count. And Scrivener takes it one better. What they do is they actually allow you to apply a deadline, and you can indicate how many words you want to reach per day and when you want to get it done by. And that's perfect for something like Nano, because unlike other counters that you have to go out and manually update every day, Scrivener happens automatically, which is really super cool. The next thing that I highly recommend is that you sit down and do a schedule. One of the things you might be tempted to do is say, oh, you know what, I'm going to write as much as I can today, and maybe I'll take tomorrow off. And what happens is it's really easy for the novel to snowball on you. What day is it? How many days do I have left? How many? Oh my God. And the next thing you know, you're behind on your word count, you're getting more and more nervous, and everybody around you is done, and you don't want to be in a bad place. So what I recommend, get a online printable calendar. I'll stick one at the end of this post. You can print it out if you want. And look at that schedule and figure out what you can realistically write on each day. So for example, if you are working a 10-hour shift on Thursday, you're probably not going to want to be writing, or you won't be writing as much. But if you've got a Saturday that's totally free and you want to dedicate that to your novel, go ahead and allocate more word time on Saturday and maybe a little less on Thursday. You have to think about those things when you're going through it. Otherwise, it's going to be really easy for the whole thing to just kind of blow up. And the next thing you know, you'll be sitting there completely lost. You won't know what happened. Seriously, trust me on that. The next thing you want to have in place is a plot. You need to know where that story is going. Where are you headed? Where's your character arc? Unfortunately, in my opinion, and some folks may disagree, but I don't feel Nano is the place for pantsers, even the best of them. You've got to have a plan. And I've always kind of thought of myself as a little bit of a hybrid. I could do a little bit of each. But what happens is, as you start writing, you get into Nano, you're going to reach around November 15th, and you're going to have that middle of the novel hangover where you're stuck, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to proceed, you don't know how to handle it. What the heck is happening here? Make sure that you know where that novel's going, and if you can take it one better, mark down what you plan to write for each day that you're writing, so you know what scene you're going to face. Even if you write them out of order, that's okay. If you can do it that way, just make sure you know what day is going to be allocated to what part of your book. It'll help you in the end. The next thing that we want to keep in mind is social media. So it's going to be very tempting to participate in social media and go online and find out what's out there and see how everybody else is doing. However, that could also become very intimidating. You're done? What do you mean you're done? It's November 10th. So if you've got really thick skin and you can just go out there and go, yay, yay, good for you. You've got further than I did. That's awesome. Go ahead. If that's not you, just stay off of it. There's nothing wrong with taking a hiatus during Nano. The next thing that you want to avoid is the temptation to edit your novel as you're writing it. You're going through, you think of a great idea, and you go, oh no, I didn't put that into the earlier chapters. And it's very tempting to go back and add to it. My suggestion would be not to. Have a notebook. I've got my binder here, kind of my story Bible for the entire project. And go ahead and just make notes, have some blank pieces of paper in there. Notes like go back to chapter 2 and add in blah blah, or go ahead and make sure this particular character says X. Put that in, include it in your notes. You can always go back and add it in. But you want to make sure that you don't get sidetracked from your word count goals and you get that novel done on time by the end of November. And don't stop, Vikings. You're almost to the end. Even though November is just beginning, it's going to fly by, and I know you can do it. I'm Steph from the Nerd Garden. Don't forget to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and come back and visit us next week for our upcoming posts, including how I'm going to make an office out of nothing at all. Have a great day and happy writing.